just offer another one tomorrow morning for those that missed this one, because clearly I don't know how to send invites out. So this is going to be so quick, you guys. Keely, will you be my timekeeper? This could literally take 10 minutes and we could then be like, night, night. So thanks for being here. There's a lot of, there's a cool group that's actually signed up, and I'm pumped for that. And this is a result of a great little conversation Keely and I had together. And I'm always bouncing off ideas of Keely, and she always has great ideas as well. And I was like, yeah, Keels, I'm, really want to get the members like really like just motivated to just do all the things in November. And she's like, no, wait, don't do that. Let's do the opposite. And I'm like, what? And she's like, yeah, let's just make it a bare minimum challenge. Like, not less is more, but in the sense of just like simplifying life, make it the quest to move our bodies and just commit to that. Right. And so I'm like, okay, so we called it the minimum viable challenge. Or the bare minimum, because we clearly want to have the tagline, I did a BM. Anyway, thanks for being here, you guys. Sorry I did the passcode wrong for Zoom, Kathleen and Kelsey. So I'm so glad you guys found us. Oopsie, only been doing Zoom for how many years?
I don't know. Too many.
So just talking about this, we just wanted to get a group together for the month of November that just want a little extra support and motivation in just prioritizing their movement, really, and simply just planning ahead. And this can be based off of everyone's individual schedules and what you can allow for. For example, how I'm going to approach the month of November is every Sunday, I'm looking at the week ahead, my commitments, and that's when I'm going to block out my Fuel House classes. Now on my, oh shoot, Kristen Kramer's texting me. She's like, password's incorrect. Fuel House. So I'm going to look at my Sundays, block out the days I know that I can get to a Fuel House class. And that's my commitment. But I already block out my morning to just include that time. So no meetings will ever get scheduled in that time frame. That's another idea, unless you have, a JOB that always throws meetings at you. Then you have to move around that. But a great practice is just looking at your calendar on a Sunday and blocking out those commitments you want to make to your exercise in advance, so nothing else gets in the way. That's really it. The bare minimum. So Ellen and I were talking, and I asked Ellen, why did you sign up for this? Why was it of interest to you? Will you share real quick, Ellen, your why?
Yeah, sure. So it's been hard for me I've been just doing one a week, and I really would rather do two. And so I just got inspired, I think, by the fact that it was low barrier, and the fact that it made me look at my whole month, knowing, there's a lot of social commitments, and just saying I'm going to do one at home and one at least one in class and at least one more at home. And if I can get two more at home, great. So I don't know. I think the low barrier, and just we know it's going to get busy, and it's a slippery slope. And before you know it, it'll be January. And then you're like, did I go to any classes at all? So that's where I was at. So I liked it. I liked the idea. So yay, Haley.
Yay, Keely. It was Keely's
idea.
Oh,
it was Keely's idea. Oh, good job, Keely. I thought you said Haley's.
Oh,
thank you,
okay.
Keely. Thank you, Keely.
It's nice to know. And then throughout this time, you guys, I'm going to be throwing pop-up just like meetings where I'm here to provide support. My goal is to just be here for you. If you're feeling anxiety around the holidays and being able to maintain some level of fitness and health, and that freaks you out just thinking about that, I'd love to just help work through that with you. So my goal is to just provide simple tips around travel and meal prep when traveling, or thinking about how to approach food when traveling, whether you're on the road, air, bus. And then I have a really cool holiday guide that was produced by my certification group And it has excellent tips in it. Anywhere where it references working against gravity, that's my certification. And then I have on the road workouts to provide you guys, and just more tips around navigating the holidays and being able to just simplify as much as we can, but still maintain some kind of priority around our health. Anyone else want to share why they signed up for this?
Sure.
Get it.
I have, I think when I stop working out for a while, I always feel like bad and it's hard to get started again. And so when I saw your email, I was like, okay, I'm going to sign up because like I have no excuse for not, well, I have many excuses for not working out, but it was helpful to kind of be part of a group that's also trying to do it.
That's cool, Will. Yeah. That's why I really wanted to, like, Keely and I were just going to put it out to the universe. But then I'm like, well, I'd love to have a sign up where I can actually see who really is looking for maybe the extra support coming together. It's great to see our faces. It's that accountability. Now I know the faces in the group that are like, you know, kind of a little bit more like mentally committed to the thought process around how to approach November. And that's purely it. It's just a support group, really. And I'm here to provide you all the support I can, as well as your friends that you see the faces, you know, on this Zoom. Some other areas just like where we'll touch on simplifying is not only just your movement. And if you know at minimum you can make it twice a week to the gym, that's excellent. If anything else happens, that's a bonus, right? And also think about if you can't make it to gym, there's so much that you can do with your body outdoors. You will not melt in the rain. So you can walk in rain in Seattle, by the way. So if you can't get to the gym, you can get out for a walk. But another way that you can simplify your life is maybe your meals for the month of November. Because there's so much that adds up, right? With the stress of travel, family coming into town, kids are coming back from college. Oh my God, kind of chaos. I mentioned to Ellen, knowing that her kid's coming back from college, let's get her a pass to Fuel House so Ellen doesn't have to break up her routine and can bring her with her. And now you're working out together. It's a beautiful thing. But another thing that I was mentioning, though, is simplifying your food. Maybe outsource your meals with Northwest Fit Meals for a couple weeks in November to alleviate the stress of thinking, having to plan ahead for meals. So Stu and I did this all the time. We would order 10 meals a week. I knew I got 5. He got 5. We got to choose whenever we wanted to eat that meal. Typically it was at night because I just didn't want to cook anymore. Another great company is Factor. They have really great prepared meals as well. You can stop those services at any time. And another way to simplify your life is simplify your grocery shopping. We became pros at ordering our groceries to show up on our doorstep throughout the pandemic. I've continued with that because I'm like, oh my God, that saved me so much time. So there is no shame in ordering your groceries to sign up or show up on your doorstep. Be okay with that. And know that it just gave you all that extra time to prioritize things that are a little bit more important, right? Sleep is going to be really crucial during this time. And it's really hard to get good sleep with all the social stuff going on. So we'll talk a lot about sleep strategies when we meet up as a group. And really focusing on that being maybe even a top priority over your movement, because we know it's really hard to exercise when we're exhausted. So trying to have a really good, healthy sleep routine. I'll be sharing what that looks like as well when we meet up. And then just how's our stress management and mindset. So we'll be just sharing as a group and looking for support. Ask for support. If you need outside resources for any kind of mental health therapy, right here, I've got some. Keels, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just welcome, Kristen. Password, baby.
Sorry, my fault, Kristen.
I I was just gonna like reorient the group with the first like 30 seconds of the call, since we have additional people who joined in and we were kind of in the middle of chatting during it. But
Yeah.
do you want me to give my spiel?
I would love it.
Okay. For those of you that I haven't met or maybe haven't seen for a long time, I'm Keely. Long time listener, first time caller, or many time caller into these Zooms. But yeah, I personally have been having a hard time. I've gotten a lot of emails from Fuel House that they miss me lately. Likewise, I miss everybody too. I have no excuse. I live about 1.5 miles from the gym and don't have kids and could very well be there, but I've just been having a hard time being like pumped, like to go to the gym or do anything. And even though I am quite social, I was telling Molly that sorry, my dog's drinking water. I was telling Molly and some other friends from the gym, Leroy, that even though I'm quite social, it's been a little bit harder to like go to a place where I know, even though I love that about Fuel House, sometimes I just want to like not talk and just like get the workout in that I was trying to do and just kind of like check the box instead of it being like a production. So when Molly was like, what are we going to do? Like I want everybody to feel psyched again. And I think we were all kind of, or we were just feeling a little bit like we miss our people and, we just feel a little bit of a rut, socially and physically myself. So instead of like the control person in me wanted to like keeps overbooking, and then I keep like failing and then disappointing myself. And instead of that, what if we just, the MVP came from, I work in the startup space, and that means minimum viable product. And so it's like, what is the least thing you can do just to get it out there? And instead of trying to go for perfect, can we just go for done, like today? Turn in what you have. And so that was kind of like where some of this came from. And yeah, so personally, I have like travel in November and like family and work, but I'm just going to try to make the plan and work the plan for minimum couple of days a week. Maybe that one of those is an open gym, so it's a little lighter, less social, since I'm kind of working back into that vibe. So yeah, just sharing my piece.
Thanks so much, Keely. I do have to say that as a Harborview worker, MVP for us means multi-visit patient. So someone who comes to the hospital a lot. But I like your interpretation much better.
That's kind of amazing. Hopefully
Keely,
not.
Thank you for sharing that. That was a way better like overview. I appreciate it, friend. Yeah. That was necessary. Does anyone else want to share like why they were interested in this?
I'm right there with Keely. Oh, I've only had one email, but I make it in there like once every 2 weeks, so I just am on the cusp. But yeah, it's just I don't know. I am struggling with trying to make it work in my schedule, because I know that the 6 a.m. is the best class for me, and it's just so dark and dreary, and the bed is so comfortable, and my dog is so cuddly. So,
Yeah.
but I did actually write down all the dates that I intended. I had a number that I wanted to hit, but if I did the dates that work for me, it only came up to 11. Including showing up on Thanksgiving morning. But then I put in 3 alternative dates, and I'll just have to see how my body does.
Cool. Can I make a comment on that note too? With 11 and 11, I love it. 11 is my favorite number, by the way. So we'll hit on that later. But I was going to mention, when we are in a higher state of stress, and we still want to demand our bodies to move how we would typically move in a class, sometimes that's not going to be a very effective, efficient result. So I need to emphasize that you have the opportunity to always show up And if your body isn't feeling, maybe what it would typically do on a typical workout day, turn it into a mobility workout. Just lighten the load and be okay with that. You've moved your body, and that's what's important. And you showed up, and you got to see your friends. And I will guarantee when you walk into that workout, and if you completely half-assed it, you will feel better than when you first walked in. Almost guarantee it. Does take a little mindset, but just know that we will always work with you if you're not feeling it. So that was another reason why we took away our posting of our daily workout from social media. We wanted to bring an element of surprise to our membership once again and get a little bit more like, what's going to happen? I don't know. Right. So,
Hey, Molly, I
yeah.
think that's fine. I will say that I liked having the workouts because then when I'm home, I can follow along because sometimes it's a little hard because you can't see the board. So I
Okay.
don't know if there's a way to post it in the chat. But maybe just something, I don't know if others feel that way, but I always have I take a photo of that day. So if I get lost or I can't hear, I can't interrupt the class, but at least I know what I'm supposed to do. So maybe if there's a way to get it connected to the Zoom, I don't know if there is, or even just having the screen up in front of it. It doesn't really, I mean, you want to see your friends working out, but I think having the screen for the camera is more important after they do the demo. Just some thoughts.
That's really good. Point. We will figure out a way, but you might need to give us a couple extra days this week. It is something that got brought up. And that was for a reason that I thought, well, the surprise part is good because this person isn't a virtual member, but I get it for virtual members, especially too, like it is good to see it in advance. So, what we might do is just share it. Oh, that's cute. Will, I love it. Yeah, like take a screenshot.
That would be perfect. I think it just has to be there when we first join so we can take a picture of it. I think that's a great idea. Well, but I know it does help if you get lost.
Yeah. I'll have to figure out how we can do that. So let me work on that. But I knew that would probably come up and we won't leave you in the dust.
I know this morning that Catherine posted a picture in the chat for the virtual person at the 9 a.m.
Okay. Okay, cool. Thank you guys. What we'll probably do so the coach doesn't have to remember every time, because they probably won't, is we may just find a way of either a shared Google Doc, or we may put it where you would receive the link via email and just hang on to that link and you could open that up. Let me figure.
I don't want to make too much more work. Even if the virtual people, as long as we can say, show us the screen for a second so I can take a picture. That's fine,
Okay. What were you saying, Keely?
Yeah, I was just saying too, like, you don't have to like design it. Like if you take a picture of it or something, or just like list it out, like in the comments or something.
It's too hard to do that from the laptop at the gym because that laptop doesn't access the programming that has been written.
Oh,
we can figure it out.
Of course it doesn't.
No,
of course not.
Yeah. So we'll figure it out. We'll have to figure this one out. Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, we now just added more work for us. We were supposed to take away the extra work. Damn it. No, I'm just kidding. I haven't picked the dates where I'm going to hold other calls where we're going to talk about navigating the holidays. But I guess what I would like to do is pull this group and ask you, what time of day is the easiest time of day to meet up like this, where it would be a 45-minute call, not every week, but a 6, 8 a.m.
This 6:30 p.m. seemed pretty good. 6:30 or 7, maybe 6 to 6:30. Monday is good. I like Monday.
Okay.
That's just me.
Most people can make the 6:30s from the past. So that's why we picked this time tonight. So And I will try to keep most of the meetings to 30 minutes, knowing it's at 6:30 p.m. I keep you too long. But what I will do, everyone, is I will email you tonight with our Navigating the Holidays guide that you can just hang on to or start to peruse. If you have questions about it, let me know. We will review it in the call that I'm going to host, and just really just be here openly for support and any questions that you have. Cool. Case is getting the double dose.
I was thinking Casey should give us some advice because he's been like the top person forever.
No
So
kidding.
what's the key to your success, Casey?
Insanity. No. And it's actually one of the reasons why I joined this because I was kind of going, I don't know, just because I have been so consistent. But my holiday plans have been kind of slowly taking shape, and they're going to be tough for a lot of reasons. So that was kind of one of those things where very often it's just one of those things where I think just for me, it's a little easy just because the gym is on my way home from work. So I don't really have an excuse beyond I just don't wanna. And I know it's I think there was I'm haunted, I think, by one point where I think there was one time where I got like really busy and I wasn't showing up. And then I started, not only was I getting emails, I was getting texts from Molly going, "Where are you?"
Stage 5 clinger mall.
Got to do what you got to do.
This was early days. This was 1.0 kind of days.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
it's cool. It was fine. So no, I think it's just mainly it's become such a habit for me. But I know, and this is something that, of course, Molly and I have had a conversation more than once. There is that kind of tendency sometimes to overdo it. And I think I think it's one of those things that I'm trying to find a little bit more balance just so I can navigate the next 2 months.
Yeah.
It's not, as of yesterday, it got a little, it got complicated. So.
Well, and that's, in these calls too, you guys, we can really cover anything. If there's a moment where someone just needs to come to a safe, supportive group and they just need to vent because they don't have someone else right then and there to speak to about just something that is weighing them down, we're here for that too. I'm not a professional therapist, clearly, but I think we've all been living life. And sometimes it's just really nice to know you've got some friends next to you that have that can relate perhaps, or have had a similar experience that make you feel better about how you're currently feeling. And I'll be totally transparent with you. I've been a freaking wreck because I'm in the middle of taking care of my pops and figuring out a long-term care from far away. And so I've really had to learn how to start to create some balance for me and around these pillars of life that we talk about, because I do know that these pillars of sleep and exercise and fueling my body properly, but also managing my mental health is how I keep going. And I hadn't had balance for a very long time. So selfishly, I'm just grateful I get to show up and see your faces, because it reminds me also of where my other priorities are.
Hey, Molly, I just went through that with my dad. So if you have any, brought him here from New York. Anyway, let me know if you.
Yeah. Okay. Will, I've talked to so many people in our community where I separately kind of just want to pull a freaking grief support group together or whatever it needs to be. Kat and I were talking about it too. She just lost her mom. Keely, don't type, just tell me. You can interrupt me.
Sorry. I was just dropping a link because I work with somebody who she's a founder of a company called Care Copilot. And it's like a community for people with aging parents that you're like the main caretaker for. Yeah. And so she's awesome. I'm sure she'd potentially chat with you, Molly, or like be somebody to meet you.
I wonder if she would facilitate a group for us. Like
I can shoot her a message. Yeah, I'll send her an email and see.
What a perfect time of year to bring someone like her, maybe, to a Zoom talk.
Yeah. Yeah,
'Cause,
she's
I mean,
awesome.
around the holidays, I don't know if you guys notice it, but when you've lost any loved one, sometimes it just gets worse around the holidays. Right?
Yeah. Yes.
Holidays,
I can.
you can feel that.
Holidays, birthdays, things that you celebrated with that person are
Yes.
pretty tough.
Yeah.
And we're dealing with it. I mean,
Yeah.
you know that.
I know. This is why we should all just like come to, okay, this is now a grief group and we're meeting on Mondays. No, I'm just kidding. But
I'm game.
I know. I would totally, I've thought about it. So, Keely, if you could reach out, that'd be really cool. Maybe she could just like kick something off for us and then we could continue or whatever.
Yeah, I'll send her a note because she will come back to Seattle. She's in Techstars in Seattle, so she's coming back at some point. Like she'll be in town, but otherwise, like virtually, potentially, she could do something. So, or a member of her team. But yeah,
yeah, virtually works. Yeah, cool.
I did Techstars 13 years ago.
Oh my gosh, Will, you're like the Kevin Bacon of this phone call.
So let's end this call, but let's go around the room. And if you haven't introduced yourself, I'd love you to just introduce yourself. And if you're going to try to target a specific class time, what one do you typically go to so we know to look out for you?
Who's starting? You want to do popcorn?
Yeah, Keely, you're going to go first and we're going to popcorn.
Okay, great. I'm most uncomfortable with silence on calls, so that's why I usually
start. Thank you. You're a really good facilitator.
Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. So let's see. What are we doing? Oh, I'm Keely. I am an OG member, started at Salsa Con Todo with Mal. And that was pre-Fuel House 1.0 for anyone that doesn't know what that is.
Literally, it was a salsa studio that we worked out in. Yep.
Yeah, we ran around a dance floor. I think I'll realistically average 2 days a week in November. Maybe that'll be virtually, maybe in person. I forgot virtual was an option somehow. But yeah, and then I'll popcorn to Kelsey Vollmer. Maybe.
Hi.
Can
you hear me?
Yep.
Hi, everyone.
Also an OG member.
Also OG member. What are we doing? Sorry, I'm on my phone and I'm really bad at Zoom.
It's all good, buddy. We were just answering like what days we're going to try to target, what time of day.
Yep. I tend to go at 4:30 on Monday, Wednesday, Thursdays. Sometimes Tuesdays, but yeah, usually see Casey around. Seen Keely a few times in the afternoons. If anybody else is in afternoons, love to see you there.
Cool. Right on. Kathleen, how about you go next?
I'm Kathleen Brown, not related to Casey, related to Mark. And I go at 9 a.m. with friends who we have gone to a gym together for, we figured now, 7 years. Because we all came together as a group to 1.0 after our gym closed. So that's where you'll find me and my gang.
And it's a gang.
It is. It is.
Neat
and
gang.
They laugh because we're the chatty class.
Oh yeah.
But we've known each other forever and there's always something going on. So we had to talk about it.
It's one of my favorite times seeing.
And they're very welcoming if you happen to go there and that's not your normal class.
Oh yeah. Amen. Well, speaking of, Kristen, go.
Okay, so I'm OG2 back to salsa con todo, and I miss those workouts. Those were fun workouts. You know, I'm all about bringing back the fun,
Okay.
deck of cards and, you know, running around.
Okay.
And so 6 a.m. is my preferred time. And my goal is Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday.
Okay.
Oh, and I will popcorn to Ellen.
Thanks. I've been in that 9 o'clock class and they were super welcoming on Fridays. I'm going to try to go one virtual and then I try to go on Friday in person all the time, various times. And I also always see Casey regardless of when I go.
Kari.
Thanks. Thanks, Mom.
Hi, I'm Kari, and I just joined you guys, so I missed all the meeting, but I was driving, so I couldn't get on.
Oh, I also gave out the wrong password, Kari, so it's
okay.
my
I haven't been for almost a year, I think. I had an injury, so it's been kind of off and on, and I haven't had a chance to look at the schedule, but I used to go 2 or 3 times a week, either in the early morning or in the evening, so I have to just out it.
Yeah, right on, friend. And Kari, all we really talked about was just, you know, the intention is to commit to a bare minimum of what is realistic for your life in November and December of getting in your movement at the gym. And then I'll be hosting additional calls just to provide support on navigating the holidays and such.
Okay, great, thanks.
And Will, you're typically what time, bud?
4:30, 5:30. I'm mostly virtual. I was working out when I was in California during the pandemic, and I don't know how to. Actually, I have no idea what my goal is. I think it's just to work out more. Yeah,
Okay.
or just to work out. Period.
So you did say a trigger word for a coach here. I don't know what my goal is. So that's where we can help you out, buddy. So if you ever want to do a one-on-one, we could do a Zoom call and I offer that to everyone. So we'll just continue to remind people if you need any extra support or even want to just say, like one person, you know, asked me what their goals should be, you know, and I asked what their life entailed right now. And it was so stressful to just learn what they have going on in their life. And so my response to them was just work through the motion of going to a class and someone else telling you what to do through the end of the year. And then let's meet and talk about a 2024 plan. And that just like gave them this like, oh, that sounds great. I'm like, yeah, it's fine. That's why we do what we do. That's why we offer these classes. And Tiff does the programming and she knows what our intentions are through the end of the year. They're going to be fun. Yeah, we're going to be moving a lot more, less talky, more worky. Especially if Coach Carrie is coaching. What do you have to say, Coach Carrie? Little stalker.
She's not even there. She just turned on her computer and went out for a walk.
She's teasing us, isn't she? Yep. Yeah. Well,
Should I
anywho.
FaceTime her while we're on Zoom?
Oh, you're good. I'm gonna let you guys get going. We went a little bit over. Any questions? Any other additional comments?
You're sending stuff to us, right?
I am. I'm gonna send you the holiday guide. And then I'm going to figure out how we can get the, if it's just the coach showing you the whiteboard and you guys are taking a screenshot or a phone thing, we'll figure that out too. Okay. Okay. But the holiday guide's coming your way. And then, look for, maybe we'll just do next Monday. I'll just look at my schedule and see what I've got going on for another 6:30 hang time. And that will have a specific agenda, but a lot of open time for us to just talk, share, support. MVP. Thank you, Keels, for all the ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the last thing, Mal. Sorry, not to be that kid who asked for homework, but the like booking your stuff ahead of time. Are we still doing the November no late cancels?
Oh yeah, that was in the email and I just didn't bring it up, but yeah, I
Oh,
mean,
okay.
everything's waived. So stress-free November. If, if you committed and you signed up, but you didn't show up, you're not going to get charged. But we sure hope you show up. So yeah.
That was just because I felt like I like to see people sign up, because it makes me be like, all right, well, if like 5 people are going, I can get my butt there. And like, you maybe now know a name, like, and you're like, oh, cool. Kathleen's going to be there, or
Yeah.
Kristen's signed up, and then you kind of can, for me, that is sometimes just motivating to be like, all right, I can't let Kristen work out by herself at 7 a.m. or something.
Yeah. And
Or,
on that note, thanks for mentioning that really quick, you guys. Brian Haley and I then plan to, at the very, very end of the month, kind of just capture some data points. And if we find, that maybe more people were signing up in the month of November compared to other months, because maybe we took away those things, maybe they just won't exist. So we're just going to look at a lot of data points then, and then a member survey will be going out the 1st of December to also ask questions about maybe a 2024 focus too. Cool.
And you go to bed tonight at 7:30. You go to bed at 7:30. It's really dark out.
Time to
And
go.
it's raining.
Time to go. It's 7:15.
Time to go night-night.
So good to see all of you, all your faces. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you. Sorry I was so late.
Well, that was my fault, so blame me. Leroy. And Kathleen, I'm so bummed I missed you when I was in town, but I'm trying to figure out my December, so I'll reach out to you guys.
Yeah, let us know. But this was my first week back. Well, I mean, I went last week, but this was my first week to feel normal after COVID. So it was bad.
That took a toll. Boy, that was a bit. Yeah.
Well, I had a fever of 102 for 3 days.
Oh.
So that was not fun.
No. I'm so glad you're better. Getting better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and you want to know what's so funny is because, of course, I missed so much. And Mark, my husband, won Committed Club this time. And I'm like, I am usually it, and I never win. I mean, I'm in the list, and then he does it one time and he wins.
Well, we've got November and December. Let's go.
That's right.
Maybe he gave you COVID because he was trying to
get out.
Yeah, I was trying to make sure. So
you're evil.
The things Mark will do for prizes,
I know.
All right, good to see you, everybody.
Great to see everyone.
Thank
Yeah.
Bye.
Good night, friends.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.